Yo, what's up YouTube? Edwin the Comic Jabroni coming at you, and today is Wednesday and I am outside of my local comic shop ready to go in there and get my books. Guys, this is a big week. I'm picking up a bunch of #1 issues, ton of indie titles. I can't wait to review them for you. So, you're gonna have to stick around to see what I grabbed. I'll be back in 5 seconds. Yo, so welcome back. Greetings and salutations to all of you out there. It is I, Edwin the Comic Jabroni, and like I said in the intro, today's video is going to be a new comic book day review. I'm going to deep dive into the new #1 issues that I picked up this week, but I'm also going to show you what other books I picked up, because this was a heavy week. Marvel, DC, and Image, I picked up a total of 12, 13 books. There were some good, there was some bad, but what we're gonna do in this video is, again, I'm gonna show you what I picked up, and then I'm going to deep dive and review those #1 issues. Guys, this is your first time watching the Comic Jabroni's YouTube channel, and you enjoy comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that geek and nerd culture, think about hitting that subscribe button and joining the hashtag Comic Jabroni Nation. For those of you that have subscribed and have joined in on my Friday live streams, this Friday I will be doing another comic book and trade paperback giveaway. So to find out how to join that giveaway, when I'm going to be going live, stick around to the end of the video. That's when I'm going to show you what I'm giving away this week. It's a nice #1 Image issue. I wonder what it could be. But enough of that nonsense. Let's get into the books that I picked up this week, starting off with Marvel. Hadouken! First book up from Marvel, we picked up Star Wars issue #4, written by Charles Soule. Artwork is done by Jesus Saiz. Guys, if you are into Star Wars and you want to know more about that 1-year period between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, this Star Wars series, this is it for you. Great, fun, absolutely love reading this. I can't wait to read more Star Wars, but let's keep it going. Next up from Marvel, I only picked up 2 this week, but man, this was a really great read. It is X-Force issue #9, written by Benjamin Piercy. Artwork is done by Joshua Cassera. I'm absolutely loving X-Force. I have talked about it in the past plenty of times. X-Force is one of my favorite Dawn of X titles right now. X-Force and Marauders are amazing, guys. If you are into that whole CIA spy type of a book, but you're also a fan of mutants and the X-Men, you're really gonna dig X-Force. Plus, you get a ton of Wolverine and Kid Omega talking a ton of crap to each other. It's good times. You should pick it up. Sonic Boom! Alright guys, let's move into DC. First book, I picked up 4 from DC, and actually my read of the week comes from DC, but we'll get into that. This is definitely not my read of the week, but that is Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, issue #4, written by James Tynion, and the artwork is done by Steve Epting. This is the conclusion of this Hell Arisen, where you have the Batman Who Laughs versus Predator Lex Luthor. I'm so glad that this series is done, because it started off with a bang. Second issue was great. Third issue had a ton of spec heat, and I'm not sure if that speculation heat kind of killed the story, but I'm so glad it's done. I thought this was a stinker, in my opinion. It kind of finishes off that Justice League Doom War that we saw conclude about a month ago, where it didn't really make any sense. I'm not a fan of this last issue, but I'm glad it's done. But we're starting to move into what they're calling Death Metal, a whole nother metal series. The first one was pretty insane. I still don't understand what I read. I don't know if this Death Metal is going to be the same. Let me know what you thought. I really enjoyed, though, this variant cover. We're going to keep it going. I picked up Nightwing issue #70 as well. This one had a ton of spec heat. People were really thinking that Punchline was going to show up in this book, but she doesn't. One of the main reasons I picked it up, obviously, I was going along with the heat, or with that speculation heat. I got it for cover price, but guys, I'm a huge fan of the Joker. So anytime you can get a Joker cover, I'm all in on that. And this is a prelude to the Joker War. This is written by Dan Jurgens. The artwork is done by Ryan Benjamin. Artwork is pretty decent in here, I can say, but you get a lot of story with the Joker in it, and I'm always down for that. I don't know if this should be a pickup for all of you, but if you're a Joker fan, I would definitely get it. All right, Batman issue 91 is the next one up on my list. Pick this up. I'm absolutely loving what James Tynion is doing with Batman now, but he's also incorporating some elements of what Tom King did with his Batman run, because Batman keeps alluding to the city and what happened with it when Bane was in charge of the whole city. The artwork in this is done by Jorge Menez and Rafael Albuquerque, so there are a ton of artists, not just them two, there are other artists that are working on this. I absolutely dig the artwork in here. Loving the artwork, and one of the main things I really like is Catwoman is coming into her own. I feel like in Tom King's run, he really made Catwoman just another peon in the Bat family, and she was always just, yes Bruce, and yes Bruce, and yes Bruce, I'll do this for you, Bruce, but in this with James Tynion, she's really coming into her own, and she's doing things on her own without really telling Batman what's going on. Guys, I'm digging Batman issue 91. Let me know, are you? Next up, written by Tom Taylor. The artwork is done by Carl Mostert, and this is Deceased Unkillables issue number 2. I picked up this awesome movie poster homage of Full Metal Jacket. Absolutely love it. In Gotham, the wind doesn't blow. It sucks. What I will say is that this is my read of the week. In Deceased, we followed the superheroes and what they were doing with this anti-life equation, how they were trying to defeat it. In this series, we're following more of the villains, and we see a ton of action and a whole lot of death in this Deceased Unkillables issue number 2. I do not want to go too far into it, but Friday on my live stream, I will definitely deep dive. But here's just a little bit of what you will find in Deceased Unkillables. Wonder Woman completely splitting Vandal Savage in half. Woo! This is my read of the week, guys. Did you read it?
Perfect.
All right, let's move into the indies. First one from Vault Comics is Heist, or How to Steal a Planet, issue number 5, written by Paul Tobin. Artwork is done by Arjuna Susini. What I can say about this without giving too much is I absolutely enjoyed like the first 2 to 3 issues. There were some really great funny parts, a little bit of action. They just really told this awesome story. But now that the heist is actually starting to happen, it feels like the book is slowing down, in my opinion. And issue number 5 was probably the weakest link out of this series. I think there's only one more issue left, and what I can say is I'm kind of happy for that. I want to see it end. I want to see what happens with this guy who's trying to steal the planet back from this major corporation that owns it. I don't know. Let me know if you're picking it up. In all honesty, I think myself and Wolf Warner are the only ones reading Heist. But the first few issues were pretty good. I hope it ends on a bang, because issue number 5 was a little bit of a letdown. We're going to move into Image now. Issue number 5 of Undiscovered Country, written by Charles Soule and Scott Snyder, and the artwork is done by Jessup Camuncoli. I hope I said that correctly. Undiscovered Country really has been one of my favorite reads because it has to do with the United States of America closing off its borders. Kind of happening now in the world, right? With all these countries quarantining themselves off, closing their borders. I like this. I like where they're going. I hope that this is a series that continues for a long run. Give me 80, 85, 90 issues. When you read the very end of the book, every one of these issues at the very end always has like a letter from one of the writers. In this instance, we're getting it from Scott Snyder. And what he's talking about is how him and Charles Soule actually took a trip out to Hollywood, California to talk to one of the movie producers out there, because this book has been optioned already. So they are pushing it out to really get this made into a movie. I can definitely see it becoming a movie. I'm absolutely loving undiscovered country, and we're finding out more about what's going on in this country. Why are they closed off? And we're getting a key that's going to open a door into another part of the US. Absolutely digging it. I like the artwork as well. You get a lot of the different characters and you're finding out more things about their past. Really awesome storytelling by Charles Soule and Scott Snyder. Let me know. Are you reading it? Next up, we got from Boom Studios. This is Alienated issue number 2 by Simon Spurrier. Artwork is done by Chris Wildgoose. I'm going to show you a little bit of the interior artwork here. These 3 kids in the last issue went into the woods. They found this alien who has now kind of given them the power to read each other's minds, talk to each other in their minds, but also kind of go into other people's minds and give them these visions, which is what they do in this book to get back at a girl in their school who is more holier than thou, but she's, one of these fakers. You're a faker. I'm absolutely enjoying Alienated. I love the artwork. I love the storytelling. I like where they're going with these 3 characters, and each one of them kind of has their own agenda. The main kid that we see talking in this issue, he has problems at home, but he doesn't want to let the others really know what else is going on with him, so he puts up these psychic barriers so that they won't be able to read all of his mind. Absolutely love Alienated, guys. Let me know, were you able to pick this up? This is the really nice Virgin variant of Alienated. Last book before we get into the number 1 issues, which they were all independent books. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, written by Ryan Perrault, and the artwork is done by DeMio, Simon DeMio. Guys, I've already talked enough about Turtles and Power Rangers. I love everything about this story. I was a huge fan of Turtles back in the day. I was a big fan of the Power Rangers growing up, and seeing these 2 intellectual properties meeting, and now the Turtles have become Power Rangers and the Power Rangers have become these Ninja Rangers. Guys, this is where it's at. Does not take itself too seriously. This is just a fun story to read and enjoy and see some beautiful artwork with some colors that just absolutely pop. Look at that. And I picked up the sweet Virgin variant cover. On the back it says it's an unlocked retailer variant. Loving it. But let's move into the number 1s where I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. So I picked up 3 new number 1 issues from different independents. First one from Dark Horse Comics is Starship Down, written by Justin Giampoli, and artwork is done by Andrea Muti. So I'm going to show you a couple of panels in here. It follows this social anthropologist right here on the front. Right at the beginning of the story, she is in this helicopter with a naval intelligence officer having her sign this non-disclosure agreement, right? So everything they're about to show her, she cannot say to anybody. And she says, well, why am I going to go to prison? What's going on? And he says, yeah, you are going to be tried for treason for the things that you see in here, and if you spill the beans to anybody. So they go into this cave right off the coast of Russia, and the US and the Russians are kind of having to play nicely with each other in this issue. But what they find down there are not only hieroglyphics, but they find a spaceship. So in this spaceship, they start working on trying to open the spaceship up so that they can go into the spaceship and see what's going on inside, because in this book, right, we've never met aliens. We didn't know there were aliens, but this alien spaceship was stuck in the ice. Something happened with it, but they're able to get inside. And in the very end, I'm going to spoiler alert, guys, in the very end, they see these Neanderthals that have been kind of frozen in time. Not bones, not anything like that. Like, they look like they are still alive and just sleeping. Crazy. Now, it wasn't my favorite number 1 issue that I picked up, but I did enjoy it. Starship Down. I want to see more about what's going on with this spaceship. I will let you know that if you're only going to pick up one of the 3 issues that I'm going to show you, these new number 1s, I'd probably stay away from this one unless you just absolutely love social anthropology and you love a good alien story. I don't know. Let me know. Did you pick up Starship Down and what did you think of it? Alright, next up we got from Aftershock Comics, Artemis and the Assassin. Written by Stephanie Phillips. Artwork is done by Megan Hetrick and Francesca Fantini. Now, this almost became my favorite #1 issue. I was so close to deciding that this was going to be it because this is a time travel story with assassins and spies, and we have this assassin that's able to time travel, and at the very beginning of this she is back in 1919, and it looks like she might be the reason for the Russian Revolution that happens. I'm absolutely in love with any comic story that touches on history like this one does. So she does what she has to do in 1919. She goes back through a portal and she meets up with whoever her handler is. It gives her these missions, and he's pissed because she did something with Attila the Hun. They don't get into it, but it's funny how they just kind of threw Attila's name in there. But he does give her this mission that she has to go back to 1944 during the height of World War II, and she has to kill a spy that has these secret documents that she was told, not even given, she was told what's gonna happen with the invasion of Normandy. Whoa. So, you get that part of the story, and you get this part of the spy. You get the story of the spy who's being told this mission, and she has to go and tell the other spy networks in Europe that the Americans and the Allied forces are going to be storming the beaches of Normandy to help liberate Europe from the Nazis. But just as she's being told this assassin shows up and about to kill her. So you get that story, it ends right there, and then it starts off another story with that same assassin and maybe how her upbringing was in this assassin network, how she was trained. So I like that. You're getting 2 stories in 1 issue. Let me show you just some of the artwork here. It's okay. Artwork is it's subpar in my opinion, not the best, I would say, but it's okay. It gets the point across. I more than likely will pick up issue #2 just to see what's going on, because both stories have kind of a climactic ending. Like, ooh, I want to see what's next. But that's Artemis and the Assassin. I got one more, and the next one's gonna be my read of the week for indies. So from Impact Theory, this is Hexagon issue #1, written by Michael Mareshi, and the artwork is done by Jeremy Rapak. So I was emailed a review copy of this book, so I read it about a month ago, but I knew that when it came out I wanted to pick up the floppy copy because you can't smell digital, guys, and comic books smell amazing. What I can say is I love this story. I love the artwork in here. Very bright, very colorful, a lot of things going on. But the story is that this kid right here loves to go to the arcade, but his dad thinks that arcades are for dummies. He shouldn't be playing in arcades. He has forbidden him from playing in arcades. Set in the 1980s, I will let you know that. But his dad goes out on a business trip, and then he and his buddies go down to the local arcade because there is a video game there about this starship, right? You have to go and destroy, kind of like a shoot 'em up, and nobody's been able to beat it. He's never played it, so maybe beginner's luck. He goes in and defeats the game. But the game is just not a regular game. The game is more of a test, right? Or a training game to see if anybody can beat it, because then that sends a signal out to the Starship Fleet Enterprise, whatever the hell you want to call it, to see, hey, if somebody beats this game, then they can help us. Kind of like, what is it, The Last Starship? I think of it more from Future Man on Hulu. If you have not seen that show, it's a hilarious show that you definitely should check out. It is definitely not for kids though. I'm loving this, guys. I can't wait to read the next issue of Hexagon. Guys, indies, I would definitely say out of all the #1 issues that I picked up, I only picked up 3. But out of those 3, this is the one that I think you should definitely go out and pick up. And that does it for my new comic book day reviews. I'm sorry if this took a little bit, but I appreciate all of you that watch my reviews and leave me comments and hit that like button. definitely goes a long way, and I appreciate it. I appreciated 3,000. But hey, I told you at the beginning of the video that I will show you what I will be giving away on my Friday afternoon randomness live stream on Friday, and that is Gideon Falls issue number 1, the Jock variant. So for all of you that jump in on the live stream chat, you're there. I'm going to do a live giveaway on that show for everybody that's in the chat. We're gonna spin the wheel of doom, and if it chooses you, you get this book. Plus, I'm gonna throw in a trade paperback that I've read, that I've loved, and I want you to read it as well. I will sign it, you read it, you sign it, and we'll keep sending it out to the community and have as many people read that trade as possible. So definitely, guys, you don't wanna miss out on the Friday live stream because I'm giving this away. But hey, until next time, I'm Edwin, the Comic Jabroni. Take it easy, have a great night, and remember to go by your local comic shops, help them out, pick up your weekly pull list. Take it easy. Peace.